the middle of the paragraph on 164. Hashlishi. Mimnei masha motzi osem ba'olam minei hapagoyim. U'masha megi alei minor hefsed begufim monam. We find in the world mishaps, what comes upon a person, physical loss, financial loss. People don't appreciate the innate value and benefit of having a physical setback, a financial setback, any of these things. He says, what is its value? You're being tested. Fortunate is the person who's tiasrenu, who's afflicted by God. He's saying something phenomenal. A person has a financial loss, loses $100,000, and despite that, he remains firm in his faith and doesn't ask a question. Is that worth more than $100,000? That level of accomplishment? Definitely. Right? You know, it's interesting, you know, when the government, they test certain things until they come up and they perfect whatever it is. They could spend hundreds of millions of dollars until they've perfected it to function as they want it. It's a waste of money. No, it's not a waste of money. It's waste, hundreds of millions of dollars. No, but that's an investment until we achieve the perfect missile or the perfect weapon. The loss over here is to achieve what? Accomplishment. So if a person would understand that despite the loss you succeeded, the success is greater than the loss. It's like any investment. I should give you $100,000 to make $10 million. So you say, guaranteed. But I'm giving away $1 million. I'm going to have less. No, you're going to have more. So the physical, financial, emotional loss or insult, God, why are you doing it to me? To see if you have faith and belief. That's what I'm doing to you. How firm? Is it unshakable or not? No, Sum Shalav is something else. Sum Shalav. He says, and these people, they forget all the goodness that Hashem had provided. I mean, why does one person have one challenge and another person has another challenge? Two people's challenges are not the same challenges. Tests. Why? Because God decreed, based on what each person needs, each person has to have another type of challenge, another type of test. Everybody's test is tailor-made based on his spiritual makeup. And people, they fall short of seeing and recognizes God's righteousness to them, how God deals with them. And they don't praise him when it's revealed Hashem's chesed. And their foolishness causes them to reject the goodness of Meitiv Bolahem. Does he contaminate? Does he contaminate? Is a kohen permitted to go near a dead person? That's not what it means. Doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean because he's emotionally broken. He's like non-functional. Well, poor people are non-functional people. What's Ani Choshev Kemes? First of all, where's Ani Choshev Kemes learned from? No. But in the Torah, from Moshe Rabbeinu, it's explicit. The Gemara learns from Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe's in Midian, and Hashem says, the people who sought you to kill you are no longer alive. That's Dasan Avira. So the Gemara says, why were they able initially to inform Moshe when he killed the Egyptian? Because they were wealthy, they had certain relationships in the government. Wait a second. I'm telling what the Gemara says based on the Psukim. Right? The concept, of course, it was Yaakov and Eliphaz. That's what Yitzchak taught about. How do we derive it from the Torah? Right? First, it's Masorah. It's a medrash. It's not explicit in the Psukim. This is explicit in the Psukim. Because the obvious question is, what do you mean they died? They didn't die. The Slavim were alive. So the Mercy is Yardim in Chosam. Because now they don't have those relationships anymore. Because when a person loses his money, people ignore you. You'll become non-existent. That's the Choshev Kemes. Doesn't mean the person in his own sense of a value has been lessened. I know I am. It's irrelevant. The money doesn't make a difference who you are, what you are, but your effectiveness, you have a different effect now. Correct. Right. Or how people value him. That's what it's about. Right? So it's not so bad to be poor. Right? You don't have to be broken. Because if a person has sufficient emunah and bitochon, it's not a problem. God gives, God takes. That's the reality. Ve'efshe tov yasichlus rabim lischakim olov v'maseu uminibrius eshebrom l'sakonosam. Yep. He says, ignorance may even bring many of them to assume that they are wiser than he. Yeah? Could you imagine? It doesn't make any sense. Why? What kind of question doesn't make any sense? You don't understand. But of course, it's for a reason. If you believe in God, it's for a reason. And it's for a good reason. To be continued. What's its eye level? Let me ask you a question. Before you go out to the battlefront, there's basic training. Right? Why don't you just send them straight out? The answer is because unless you have basic training, you don't stand a chance on the battlefront. Life itself, it's not when you're confronted with the problem. No, it's not when you confront. Now you have to say, you have to be this. All your life, you have to build to prepare, God forbid, for that moment. To be anchored so securely that you're unshaken by it. So it's not simple. It's education, it's reflecting, it's many things.
It must be axiomatic that you have all the resources that you need to fulfill your mission on this planet.
Always. Even a person starving to death, whatever his purpose is, he has sufficient resources, although he doesn't have what to eat. You know, there's an expression, mind over matter. Mind over matter. And it's true. Everything's in the mind. It's the way you process something mentally and emotionally that makes the difference whether you succeed or fail. I mean, as a human being. I'm not saying financially, but as a human being, in terms of your function. Okay? So that's what it's about. So it's what you believe and what you feel, and that's what it's all about. There are no atheists in talks, but that's for the moment. It's not going to keep you going. Because if you're in the foxhole too long, you become an atheist even in the foxhole.